Dear Phillipe, my dear petit Phillipe. That has a nice ring to it. I have longed to... I know that you have been longing for me to write to you about my life as a musketeer in gay Paris. I must tell you it is even more fabulous than I ever could have imagined, and I long to bring you here and show you the sights and sounds of the streets on the Seine. Perhaps even the Pont Neuf, although we must cross it quickly. I am a champion among the musketeers. Yes, champion. As you know, ever since I was a child, I have longed to be a musketeer. And ever since I was a young boy, I used to play at being a musketeer with my friends, sparring with sticks. And from a very young age, I knew that I was different from the other boys. That for some reason, I knew where they were going to strike right before they did. I was able to not only meet their stick with mine, but I could see before it happened how I could thrust and stab them with my own. And I knew from then that I must be a king's musketeer. I was destined for greatness. And great I am among the musketeers. Full of renown and fame. The name of Philippe Moreau is sung about... It is no use. You know me better than any other, Phillipe. Sometimes I feel just as if I'm under the shadows of my brothers here with my fellow musketeers. They are all able men. They are good men. They are honorable men. And I am young. Although 19 is not so young. I am almost 20. But I feel as though I'm in the shadow of my other brothers. Being the youngest of 7 was not easy. I recall at the family farm, many times my father would simply call me boy. I do not know if he ever knew my real name. I cannot remember how often my mother used it. But this was not without its advantages. I did not have to do any chores. I did not have to work. The other brothers took care of everything. I could ride the horses. I could climb trees. I could let the bull out of the pen. This was not something I was supposed to do, but I have done it. I could get into all sorts of trouble and adventures. As many adventures as one can get into in a provincial town. But I believe that my fellow musketeers are beginning to accept me. I am often with the same 3. We have become fast friends, even though the 4 of us are different. The 4 of us have gone on many adventures together, although for some reason, many times there only seems to be 3 of us, as if one is called away for one reason or another. I have heard Jean-Marie and Martin talk about this at night sometimes. Martin talking about how the Bible says that God, man cannot serve more than God. Man cannot have 2 masters. Jean-Marie mentioning that there may be perhaps as many as 4. I do not understand. Monsieur de Treville, King Louis, God the Almighty, Cardinal Richelieu? No, this cannot be. So I do not understand what he means about the 4 masters. It is a mystery, he says, that cannot be explained. But let me tell you about these men. There is Alphonse. He is a man that has a way with... He is a scoundrel. He is beloved by many and a man of great influence. He has a way with words, a certain flair, and brings great attention and renown to himself and to us. Is always able to say the right thing. I aspire to be like him. He is adored by the ladies, but I have been chaste. I have not even looked at another... Martin will make me go to confession. I have been chaste. Jean-Marie, he is a strange fellow. He's a good man, a grim man. He is has a wry sense of humor. He is prone to speaking with great passion and intensity. And he's a man that is not afraid to do what must be done. He is a leader. He sometimes calls me boy, the kid, snotty brat. But I forgive him this because I believe that we are friends, and we have fought us alongside each other. He's a good man. He is a bit crazy, eccentric, and has some strange beliefs, but he's a good man. And Martin, he is devout and serious. He is a noble. I do not know how much, but he is a man of high birth. He has a great fire that burns inside him, but you never see only little peaks of it. He is a man that has great control over himself. Someone that I look up to. Very pious. Perhaps a little too serious. They are all great swordsmen, although I suspect that I am better. But I do not like to mention such things. As too much pride is, well, it is kind of like being a musketeer now, isn't it? But we are all for one for all. We do not speak of being better than each other, mostly. Musketeers are prayed much and frequently. I shall soon make my fortune and be able to come back and bring you away from the life of drudgery as a goose girl and we do not get paid much, and not often. But I want to tell her this. However, you know Jacques. He is still very fond of the wine. And sometimes I drink it as well. There are some great vintage... I have a glass every now and then. I do not think I have to go to confession for that. But the care of Jacques has taken some of my pay, so it may take a little longer than one would think, given my salary and standing. True, Jacques can be a problem, but I feel it is my duty to take care of him. He was cast out by the time I left home. I think we were both cast out. I do not think my parents remember that I left. But he is very useful to me and has much great insight. The lackeys of the other fellows are very interesting in their own right. There is Claude, who always seems to be able to turn up the right fact at the right time. There is Eugene, who is strange, with a good barber. Little fussy. Little fussy. And then Luciano, a good doctor. Very gruff. Very gruff. He does not get as drunk as Jacques, although he does drink. But let me tell you about my adventures. Recent adventures, the most exciting ones. There was a time not so long ago, Monsieur de Treville brought us into his study. Brought me. Asked for me. And sent us on a great mission to a small town called Stull, where we were to retrieve another musketeer who had gone missing. Someone who has a message from King Louis. And we were to find him and bring this message ourselves if need be. And in so doing, we found a great mystery. I will come back to that. We were able to go down there to the village of Stull and find strange dealings with the Martel family. And we were able to interrupt a ritual and prevent... We were able to defeat the Luger Spanish spies. How to make that more exciting? Many capable Spanish spies. Although, during this time, one of these cultists, one of these average people, the most fearsome Spanish spy, was able to get past my guard. It shook me a little. As the Renoir Academy, I teach at the Renoir Academy. I have been entrusted to teach with the students. I'm in good standing there. They have taught me to fight multiple men at the same time, and I do not understand why this very capable Spanish spy, Cervantes, was able to get past my blade. He did run like a frightened rabbit at the howl of at the might of the musketeers. At my might. We scared him. He ran. And we were able to save this other musketeer and bring the message back to France, back to King Louis. More recently, we went to the Bavarian front. Very exciting. We were to escort a noble woman, Miss Louise de Lafayette. I do not know if I'm supposed to tell her. Should I tell her name? Miss Louise, a noble woman, to clear the name of her childhood friend, Captain Dufoy. Dufoy. D-U-F-W-A-H. Dufoy. Captain Dufoy. Strange name. And we were able to clear his name and rid him of the influence of the evil yet beautiful vampire, of the Bavarian seductress, who was not the Bavarian crone, who did not tempt me and did not turn my eye. And I single-handedly was able to defeat this Bavarian crone, and that does not sound very exciting. The bodyguard of the Bavarian crone, a man almost 7 feet tall and bald. I was able to defeat the Bavarian spy. What is a good Bavarian name? Not Cervantes. Hans. Single-handedly, although Briscoe crushed his head after I cut it off. And we were able to clear the name of this Captain Dufoy and return home with glory. Although I rode fastest and I rode best, because I did not want to massage Briscoe Alphonse, because I'm an excellent horseman. I believe despite my misgivings, despite the fact that I feel like I am walking underneath the shadow of these men, that I am becoming accepted as a true musketeer. Oh, my love to you, my petite vedette. I shall come and visit you soon. Give my love to your brother and your sister. And take care of the geese. With all my love, Phillipe Moreau, King's Musketeer.